What if I told you that your brain, the thing you trust most, is actively working against your wallet right now? Not because you're dumb, not because you're careless, but because you're human. Every single day, you're making financial decisions you think are logical, but they're not. They're emotional, they're instinctive, and they are costing you, quietly, consistently, invisibly. Today, I'm breaking down 5 cognitive biases that are almost certainly affecting your money, and, more importantly, what you can actually do to fight back. Stay to the end because, number 5, most people never even recognize it as a problem. We like to think of ourselves as rational people. We compare prices, we read reviews, we make spreadsheets. Some of us make spreadsheets. But the uncomfortable truth is that human brains were not built for modern financial decisions. They were built for survival on the savannah. And in that environment, these mental shortcuts, called cognitive biases, were actually useful. But in a world of credit cards, crypto, and one-click purchasing, they're landmines. Psychologists have studied these for decades. The research is clear. And once you see them, you genuinely cannot unsee them. Let's get into it. Let's start with one you have almost certainly fallen for, maybe even this week. It's called anchoring bias. Here's how it works. You walk into a store or scroll past an ad and you see a jacket. It says, was $500, now just $250. And something in your brain lights up. You feel like you're winning, like you caught a deal, like you're smarter than the system. But here's the question no one stops to ask. Was that jacket ever actually worth $500? In many cases, especially in fast fashion and retail, no. The original price is inflated specifically to make the sale price feel like a bargain. The $500 is the anchor. And once your brain locks onto that number, every decision you make is measured against it. This is why furniture stores always show you the original price. It's why car dealerships start high in negotiations. It's why buy 2, get 1 free feels irresistible even when you only needed 1. What to do about it? Before you buy anything on sale, ask yourself one question. Would I pay this price if there was no original price listed? If the answer is no, you don't actually want the item. You want the feeling of saving money. Those are 2 very different things. Now let's talk about something that goes even deeper, because this one is wired into your biology: loss aversion. Psychologists Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky, Nobel Prize-winning researchers, discovered something fascinating. For most people, losing $100 hurts roughly twice as much as gaining $100 feels good. Read that again. The pain of losing is double the pleasure of winning the exact same amount. So what does that mean for your finances? It means you avoid risk, even smart risk, because the fear of loss outweighs the logic of potential gain. It's why people hold on to losing stocks for too long, hoping they'll bounce back instead of cutting their losses. It's why people refuse to invest because they're terrified of market dips, even when history consistently shows the market recovers. It's also why so many people keep their savings in a low-interest account, earning basically nothing, because not losing feels safer than potentially gaining. What to do about it? Reframe your thinking. Instead of asking, "What could I lose?" start asking, "What is the cost of not acting?" Because doing nothing has a cost too. It's just invisible. Inflation alone is quietly eroding the value of money sitting still. Sometimes the safer-feeling choice is actually the riskier one long-term. Here's one that explains why so many people know they should be saving for retirement, and still aren't. present bias. Your brain assigns dramatically more value to rewards right now than rewards in the future. Economists call this hyperbolic discounting. In plain English, your brain is bad at math when time is involved. Given the choice between $50 today or $500 in 20 years, even though $500 is objectively 10 times more money, the emotional pull of right now is incredibly strong. Future you doesn't feel real. Present you is very real. And present you wants things. This is why I'll start saving next month has been your plan for the last 3 years. This is why you spend on experiences and things today and treat retirement contributions like optional homework. The cruel irony? The earlier you invest, the more powerful compound interest becomes. Waiting even 5 or 10 years to start can cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars over a lifetime. Not an exaggeration. Run the numbers. What to do about it? Remove your present self from the equation. Automate your savings so the decision never lands in your hands. Set up automatic transfers to a retirement account or investment account the day your paycheck hits. Your present self never sees the money, and your future self quietly gets rich. Systems beat willpower every time. This next one is especially dangerous because it doesn't just feel normal, it feels smart. Herd mentality. When everyone around you is doing something, your brain reads that as social proof that it must be the right move. We are deeply tribal creatures. Following the group kept our ancestors safe. But in financial markets, the crowd is often spectacularly, catastrophically wrong. Think about every financial bubble in history: tulip mania in the 1600s, the dot-com crash in 2000, the housing crisis of 2008, Bitcoin hitting $65,000 in 2021 before dropping 70%. In every single case, there was a moment where everyone was doing it, where it felt crazy not to jump in, where people genuinely believed the rules had changed, and this time was different. It never is. Herd mentality doesn't just affect big investments either. It's why entire generations buy the same trendy financial products that advisors push hard for a few years, and then quietly stop recommending. It's why people buy houses they can't afford because the market keeps going up. What to do about it? Make a simple rule for yourself. If your primary reason for a financial decision is that everyone's doing it, that's a red flag, not a green light. Before any major financial move, get your information from sources with no stake in your decision. Talk to a fiduciary advisor. Read the boring analysis, not the hype. And finally, the one I promised you at the start. The one people almost never recognize in themselves. The sunk cost fallacy. A sunk cost is money, or time, or energy that you've already spent and cannot get back. It is gone. And logically, a decision about the future should never be affected by money that is already gone. But it is. Constantly. You keep going to a restaurant you don't enjoy anymore because you bought an annual membership. You keep watching a bad movie because you paid for the ticket. You keep a gym membership, and maybe this one hits close to home, that you haven't used in 5 months, because canceling it would mean admitting you wasted the money you already spent. Here's the thing, canceling that membership doesn't unwaste the money you already paid. That money is already gone. Every month you keep paying is just new money being wasted on top of old money being wasted. This shows up in business decisions, in relationships, in careers. People stay in jobs they hate for years because they spent a decade getting there. Businesses double down on failing products because of what they've already invested. What to do about it? Train yourself to ask one forward-looking question. If I were starting fresh today with no history, would I choose this? If the answer is no, the sunk cost is irrelevant. The only question is, what makes sense from this moment forward? None of these biases makes you foolish. It makes you human. These biases affect Nobel laureates, seasoned investors, and financial professionals. The difference is, now you know they're there. Awareness doesn't automatically fix the problem, but it gives you a fighting chance to pause before you act and ask, is this logic, or is this a bias talking? If this video made you think differently about even one financial habit, drop a comment below. I'd genuinely love to hear which bias hit closest to home.